Hey everyone, happy Sunday. It's Sari from the Spiritual View. Welcome if you're new to the channel. This is one of our daily messages. We do these 7 days a week, and we do lives on Mondays and Fridays. Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we do a monthly collaborative effort with 7 wonderful ladies who've come together in spirit of community to share our gifts. So I wanted to welcome you to the channel. Today's message, it's Sunday, October the 7th, 2024. And in addition to tarot, I spend a considerable amount of time in the Akashic Records, which in simple terms are the records of our soul's journey on each incarnation that we've had as a soul, whether it be in the earth plane or in other realms. And I read for people individually, but I also read collectively, oftentimes for messages. And I wanted to record this as I went into the records just a bit ago to get a channeled message about the eclipse that we just had, the annular solar eclipse that happened on October the 2nd, and the significance of it from a soul perspective and what they are recommending that we do, and some guidance that they'd like to give the collective. If you would like to find out more about the Akashic Records, I will leave some information in the description box below. But let's go ahead and get started because I've gone ahead and pulled some cards as well. But I'd like to start first by reading the message, and just to let you know how I access the Akashic Records. Every reader does it differently, but it would be like going into a meditation, and I go through a set of prayers. I either open individual records or ask for guidance from the collective. And I get messages from a group that are called the Wisdom Keepers of Light. They're actually the guardians of the Akash. The archangel who's associated with the Akashic Records is Archangel Metatron. And I oftentimes connect with the energies of Metatron in sacred geometry. So this is the message that came through. But the significance from a soul level around the eclipse of October 2nd, earlier this week, was very much the point that we've reached the point of decision. Up until this point in time, as it's been explained to me, souls could have 2 feet in 2 different worlds. You could have 1 foot in the new world and 1 foot in the old world. And in technical terms, 1 in the 5th dimension and 1 in the 3rd dimension. And as of this annular eclipse, it was the point that people had to make the choice. So imagine you're on a boat dock and you've got 1 foot on the boat and 1 foot on the dock, and the boat's starting to take off. October 2nd was the date that souls had to choose. Do I choose to move ahead in this new path of the energies of the age of Aquarius, and that I am going to live in the vibration of love and peace, harmony, compassion, gratitude? Or am I going to stay steeped in the fear of the 3rd dimension, in those energies of chaos, fear, anger, and control, power? Those are, to name a few of the feelings and the vibrations. And that as of this date, people had to make that choice, which way they wanted to go. And whichever vibration you chose, then your physical reality would reflect that. And so this is the kind of the jumping off point this week where we as souls have had to make that choice. Now, if you're watching this, it's most likely that you've already made the choice to go towards love. It sounds simple, but they wanted to explain, what does it actually mean as we're moving through these new energies, all the light that's coming to the planet, and what guidance do they want to give us? And then after that, I've pulled some cards that we'll go through for further guidance from Spirit on how we move ahead. So I'm going to read you the message that they gave me this morning. For the question of the transition of the new earth energies, and this is from the age of Aquarius, what we're calling this is the new earth energies, the energies of love and compassion and grace, gratitude, what we've been focusing on. They said part of the shift that humans will be experiencing is this concept of living in the moment or living in the now time. They said the final closing of the third dimensional energies happened this week with your annular solar eclipse on October 2nd, where souls could no longer sit on the fence and have one foot in the old world and one foot in the new world of the fifth dimensional way of being. Souls have had to make the choice whether they choose to live in fear or they choose to live in love. If you are a soul watching this, it is likely that you have chosen to live in love. However, there may be those around you who simply feel lost or powerless or fear-driven. Though you can hold the space of compassion for them, it is not your role to change their perspective or to force a change. They must choose for themselves how they want to live their life, and the energy they emit will reflect back in their physical environment. You must focus on keeping your energy and your vibration as high and as clear as possible, clearing your energetic chakra systems continually. Your routines of self-love and self-care are absolutely essential in the days ahead. What is changing for those of you who've chosen this new path is that you no longer will be bound by linear time. This means that the past, the present, and the future are all in the now, present moment. This is what they actually call quantum living or living in the quantum field. The old way of living and being on the planet is changing. Having a 3 to 5 year life plan or specific goals to achieve by a certain date, or to have a family when you're a certain age, as examples, will all change as you no longer pin events or structures or milestones or your achievements to a fixed point in time. That might sound either amazing to you or it could sound terrifying if you are honest with yourself. It means that you as a soul are to show up in the present moment, living in the vibration of love, and what you need will manifest for you and those around you as long as you are in alignment with your soul. Now, when they say in alignment, they mean with your soul's journey and purpose. Yes, those listening will still have earth jobs or vocations, as that will not go away, but the things that matter to you in the past may longer seem relevant nor important. And they're talking about things like what kind of title you have or the kind of job that you do. It's less relevant because you're not focused on things like power and titles and money. Old relationships that seemingly were important may fall away. Family relationships and dynamics may change, or relationships could end. This is all part of the energetic shift. We ask you to be open to the change and to surrender to spirit for the path ahead, as each of you seeking answers will be guided to the next steps. However, it is a bit like the analogy of laying paving stones, one stone at a time or one experience at a time. Having long-term goals are no longer needed, as whatever you need in the present moment comes to you. Healing is actually going to undergo transitions as well, as much of your time has been spent in going into the past to heal traumas or wounds or scars. If there is no past, there is no need to return there. You can heal in the present moment, and the healing can go backwards, clearing the past, and coming forward to impact future generations to clear the bloodline. We are saying that worry less about what has happened in the past, as you cannot change it, nor can you go back there. Focus on your everyday to live as much as you can in joy and in love, and express gratitude daily for the many blessings each of you have received. And take life one step at a time and one day at a time, like laying the paving stones, and this will become more of your normal operating routine. You may find yourself slowing down and noticing things you never did before, like enjoying the greenery around you on trees, beautiful flowers that you never noticed, the hummingbirds flying past your window, and being content with the smaller pleasures and delights of life, a good cup of coffee, a walk with a good friend, seeing the stars at night, a good night's sleep, having a partner who truly appreciates you and loves you for who you are. We are asking you to practice this idea of being present, as this is going to be your superpower moving forward. So think of the ability to be present as a superpower. What we're describing is the quantum field of living in quantum time and not in linear time. We understand that most of you are not trained in physics, so we are explaining how it appears and how it may feel to you. You become less focused on the past and worry about the future ahead. You instead focus on the present moment and living in grace, gratitude, peace, and love. And your physical world around you will begin to reflect this energy that you were putting out to the world. Give yourself an experiment every day to find an opportunity in your day to be fully present in the moment with a person, with a pet. And my pet is sitting here putting a rope in my lap to go chase. Sorry about that. Watching things if you walk or noticing what you do when you walk outdoors in nature. Notice what you feel when you do this, even if it's for a limited period of time. Naturally, you will begin to feel more ease and more comfort, more joy, and less worry about tomorrow. This is what we ask you to do to practice living in the present moment. Give yourself some time to reflect every day when you are experiencing in the moment, and give yourself a pat on the back, and also give others feedback when they do this as well. We could share with you some quite advanced quantum terms and words with you to describe what this is, but we want you to first understand how it feels. As you are shifting from a head-based society of thinkers and worriers to feeling through the heart and tapping into your knowingness and your intuition through the third eye. This is so key and so critical. How you feel is your superpower as well. So number one superpower is learning to be in the present moment. Your second superpower is feeling through the heart. When you find yourself stuck or too far inside your head, ruminating on old stories that you've told yourself or others have told you about you and you believed it, drop into that magnificent heart of yours and feel something that you love and hold that space for 60 seconds. It will help you get into the routine of starting in the heart space first, then switching to the head of what you think about it. It is a significant shift from the old third dimensional way of being. These are our kind words to those souls listening today. You have homework now, but hopefully it will become easier the more you practice. More on quantum living as we move along, but we are at the beginning of this phase of the evolution of human consciousness in the age of Aquarius. So we will leave you with these messages for today, but we will continue to share some insights as the energy evolves, shifts, and changes. Do not stay in fear. Stay in the frequency of love, and you will weather the changes coming with better ease and less resistance. We honor you for the journey of your discovery of who you are as a soul, and to allow you to find who you truly are and why you came to Earth at this massive time of change and transformation. You were part of the volunteers and pioneers who are transitioning your planet forward, and we thank you for your service to mankind that you are leading and bringing forth, the wisdom keepers of light. So some really nice, simple messages about what does it feel like to live in the present moment? And that's the direction that we're headed. So if you're living in the vibration of love, you're going to feel through your heart first and then your head. So I asked Spirit, can you give me some messages today of how we actually go about this transition? Because it's easier said than done. If we've all had life goals and career plans and life milestones that we wanted to achieve, and it was all based on this concept of linear time, if that's going away, it kind of rocks that world. And for me, being a lifelong planner and organizer, it's really counterculture to everything that I've been taught to do and to believe. And it also was tied into what we thought success was. And so I think for many of us, I think it's going to be a challenge to continually focus on living in the present moment as opposed to looking at things more long term and also ruminating about our past because we can't change that. So the first guidance from Spirit, and this is from the Shamans Dream, and thanks Dawn for a great recommendation. This is a beautiful deck. And this card is called The Crossing. It's 54, which is a 9, and 9s are at the end of the cycle. And this is rite of passage and initiation. And this is so appropriate. Let me read this to you. You have come to stand on one side of the river. The opposite bank leads into the darkness of the eternal cave, where the old dies and then is born again. This is a place where time is forgotten. Um, and the seasons cease to exist and stand still. You must cross the river now, honoring and respecting this transition, for it's time to say goodbye to your old ways of navigating your world. I mean, how appropriate is that? Don't be afraid. You've come to the edge of the river because you are ready. You are ready to let go of what does not serve you in all the ways in which you've kept yourself from truly living. Intimacy requires vulnerability and truth. Can you strip away the mask and the barriers of false strength to discover what you're really made of? Step in the boat. Here's a boat analogy. I'm not making this up. Let it carry you into the cave where the shadows are waiting to be illuminated so you can be born again in the world without denial or artifice. Making the crossing is a beautiful powerful act of the highest love. Wow. All right. So that's our first message. The second message I pulled, sorry guys, I got a dog want me to play with him. This is Oracle of the Sea, and I love this. And this card is called Lightness. May the lights lift you to the surface. And it's another transformation card. It says, floating upon the sea, your heart can perceive the whole luminous sky. In releasing the dread of each incoming swell, you can find buoyancy, and as your soul is lifted by gentle waves of grace and laughter. May you find delight in finding peace above, even as the waters are shifting beneath you. May you change perspective. May joy fuel you to soar beyond and above. The mantra is, as I rise, my soul lightens. So this is about lightness, surrender, be in the flow, and finding peace where there is change. And the last oracle message that I pulled from the Sacred Geometry deck, I love this deck. I pulled, from an energetic perspective, what do we need to focus on? And I love this because this is the heart chakra, a number 4, which is around building stability, foundation for success. The heart chakra says the frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by the many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect in the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. The flower of light represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all separate components of the universe are working together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color green is associated with the 4th chakra, the heart chakra. It is linked to our capability and capacity to love and to feel compassion. This applies to our ability to love one another as well as our ability to love ourselves. So there's a message here that, again, what they said is going into your heart first, how you feel. This is our guidepost, if you will, of how we navigate ahead. And Spirit is going to be with us along the way. Now, I asked Spirit, could you give me some messages from Tarot? And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. What are some things that we want to invite in this new energy? And I got these beautiful cards, and they're all pentacles. And so this is all about manifestation. The first card I got was the Page of Pentacles. And this is around learning something new or a new way of showing up in the world. So we're inviting in this beautiful energy of manifesting new learning and new ways of looking at the world. And then the next two that I got were the Queen of Pentacles, and I got the Ten of Pentacles. And so this is beautiful, nurturing energy, and it's abundant, it's compassion, it's kindness. And this Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate in kind of stability, moving ahead. So we are inviting in through having our superpower is our heart chakra and our heart center, and going there first as our operating system, and learning to live in the present moment is going to allow us to bring in a new way of being, a new way of learning, and to manifest abundance in those around us, but also within ourselves, because the Queen of Pentacles nurtures self very well. Then I asked Spirit, what do we want to let go of? And I got the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands can oftentimes be a card of anxiety or going into the unknown. And so part of what Spirit is asking us is to release any fears of the unknown, because if we step in faith, Spirit is going to have our back and take care of us. And then the next two cards I pulled were the Four of Cups and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is fast moving energy, but oftentimes it's moving in and out. And it can reflect, if you're not committed to something, you're not going to be consistent. And so that in its own right around what we want to let go is, if you have made that choice to live in love, go full force, and Spirit has got your back. And then the last card, the Four of Cups, is around not seeing the opportunity that we have in front of us. And we have an opportunity in front of us to really expand our heart chakra and expand our vibration of love by starting first through the heart center. What we don't see coming is the opportunity that Spirit has for us. Some beautiful cards. What we don't see coming, if we can practice this, being in the present moment, living in the quantum field, being less focused on linear time, is the Six of Pentacles, which is a lot of generosity. It's equal give and take. It's balancing resources and relationships and things around us in our material world. So things will come into balance, and there will be much of a spirit of giving and receiving, and probably around community. The next card was the Empress, and this is around rebirth. If we are rebirthing the way that we are showing up in the world in this new energy in the age of Aquarius, the Empress is the ultimate card of birth and creation, and it's a very feminine, powerful energy. So Spirit is telling us, invite this creative energy in. And the last one was the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can be messages of love, and these can be also love to self. And so do we need to nurture ourselves and also support those around us who are trying as well to live in the present moment, to be out of linear time in the quantum field, and working through the heart chakra as the first, or in the heart center, as the first way of being, and letting how we think be secondary or tertiary. We don't have to have it as our primary go-to as we are looking at how we live in the world and show up. So those are the messages for today. I'm actually going to do one more card. Yep. And this is a beautiful card. Last message from Spirit, Four of Swords. Lots of us are going through individual healing right now as we are in this journey, moving away from the old energies of fear and anger and chaos. And we are healing from the past. We are healing from things that are in our shadows that perhaps we could not see before, or perhaps not confident to address. The Four of Swords allows us to continue that beautiful healing, but you're going to be doing it in the present moment, which clears the past, and it also clears your bloodlines and your generations coming after you for the future. Those are some of the messages for today, and from the wisdom keepers of the Akashic Records. Again, happy Sunday. I think these are great insights on how we start looking at our energy and how we start showing up. And our superpowers are live in the moment and be present fully. And you've got to drop into your heart center first before you can go up into your head. Again, it's a great pleasure to be with you today. Many blessings, and just a shout out to anyone who's been impacted by the recent hurricanes. Our hearts and love go out to you. I know it's been very difficult, and we are with you. Please join us tomorrow live. We will be together at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, rest and relax for the remainder of your Sunday. And again, so grateful that you've joined us to watch the channel. And we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.